How's it going, everyone? So with day 5 of the training camp, it is the first official day that the Green Bay Packers were able to put on the pads finally and not be practicing without them. And we also had Peyton Manning in attendance. Initially, it was thought that maybe he's trying to recruit Jordan Love for his season 2 of the quarterback series on Netflix, but that is apparently not the case. But he is there to pretty much try and figure out if they would do another big project of his. No news on what that potential project could be or if the Packers are going to go forward with it, but that is apparently why Peyton Manning was in attendance, and why not with the first day of padded practice. So to start off with, players that did not practice, Rashawn Gary and Eric Stokes, once again on the PUP, along with Grant the Boys and Dontavian Wicks still on the NFI. And in this one, David Bakhtiari did not practice as he was held out for non-injury reasons, just that modified practice schedule. So he had an off day. We'll call it Veterans Rest Day at this rate. So today for the starters, we had quarterback Jordan Love starting, obviously. Then Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon at the running back position. We had Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs starting on the outside. Then Luke Musgrave starting at tight end, pretty much taking that first starting tight end spot over Josiah DeGuara. Then on the offensive lineman with David Bakhtiari out, Yosh Nijman slotted in at left tackle, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, John Runyon Jr., and Zach Tom. It's also notable that it looked like Royce Newman was getting subbed in a lot for left guard and right guard, so potentially he's probably going to be our swing guard, which is starting to fill out our depth chart a little bit. It's looking like Nijman's going to at least be subbing in for left tackle and right tackle, with Zach Tom probably having a good hold on the right tackle position and Royce Newman being our sub-in guard. For the day, Jordan Love is continuing getting better throughout these training camps. So he went 7 for 12 today, and he actually started the training camp with 4 straight completions to all 3 tight ends in Josiah DeGuara, Luke Musgrave, and also Tucker Kraft, and then another to Christian Watson. And Christian Watson had an amazing catch during this. It was actually... Thank God we actually have video of it. And here's the video. It's posted all over Twitter if you haven't seen it. It's so good that I actually have to pull it up and put it on here. So here's Jordan Love in shotgun position, dropping back, and just a beautiful ball to Christian Watson in stride over his right shoulder. Just absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait. Hopefully this is going to be a continued thing and Jordan Love progresses, gets on better chemistry with Christian Watson, because that throw was just absolutely perfect. I mean, with some more things that we saw at practice with Jordan Love, there was an RPO. There had been a couple RPOs at this practice. So it's made its appearance. And Matt LaFleur kind of does have a history with RPOs. He did coach Robert Griffin III. He did have Mariota. So he's used to having some mobile quarterbacks, which Aaron Rodgers wasn't mobile at his age when Matt LaFleur got there. But every quarterback that we currently have on this roster is mobile in some capacity. So looks like the RPO could make its way back into the fold with this offense. And lastly, with Jordan Love, despite that amazing throw by Jordan Love to Christian Watson, it wasn't all great for him. He did have one pass. It was in the 2-minute drill where he just threw directly to Quay Walker with no running back or receiver in sight. He threw it right to my man Quay Walker. And luckily for him, it didn't get picked off because Quay Walker dropped it. That's bad on Quay Walker. But for the offensive side's purposes, he got severely lucky, especially in the 2-minute drill, which was the competitive part. Moving on to the defensive starters. So on the defensive line, we had Kenny Clark and TJ Slayton. And in the base 3-4, Devontae Wyatt was starting, but once they got out of the base 3-4 and went into the nickel package, Devontae Wyatt would sub out and Keyshawn Nixon would come in. So on the nickel spot, Kenny Clark and TJ Slayton were starting. Base 3-4, Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, and Devontae Wyatt. On the outside linebacker position, Preston Smith and Justin Hollins. Justin Hollins continuing to get most of the reps, kind of subbing in and out with Kingsley Enagbare and Lucas Van Ness getting some reps, but not as much as Justin Hollins. And this could be, once again, just a thing until Rashawn Gary comes back, depending on what his reevaluation looks like in a couple weeks. At the inside linebacker position, Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker, they're pretty much solidified at the starter position. Cornerbacks, Jair Alexander, Rasul Douglas, and Keyshawn Nixon in the slot. And at safety, Darnell Savage and Rudy Ford. Once again, Rudy Ford starting for the 5th day straight. And so far still has a good grasp on that starting job from what it looks like. He's getting the most reps with the first team, and he doesn't seem to have any danger as of right now in losing it, but things could change in the future. It's still only day 5 of training camp practices. For some highlights that we had with the defensive side, TJ Slayton had a very good day for the Packers today. So on 1v1 drills where he was lined up against Josh Myers, he was able to pretty much bull rush him and push him back 5 to 6 yards, pretty much making Josh Myers backpedal with the disruptive force that TJ Slayton put on him. And then on the 11v11 drills, he also had a tackle for loss on A.J. Dillon because he was able to pretty much penetrate very fast, and he was right there to meet the ball carrier right when he got the handoff. So a good play by TJ Slayton there. And then also when he was playing with the backups versus backups for the 2-minute drill, Sean Clifford was able to get the ball into 4th down into Hail Mary range to where pretty much score or die. And TJ Slayton was able to rush the quarterback and get to him and hit his arm to pretty much cause an incompletion and negate any potential of a catch in the end zone. So TJ Slayton had a very good day today for the Packers. And then also Carrington Valentine, who has had a very good camp thus far, is continuing his good camp. During the backups when facing off against Danny Etling, he was able to pretty much diagnose and read the play very instantly and take it back for a pick 6, which they also were able to have a fan video of and capture it. And so as you can see here, Danny Etling over here at quarterback, shotgun position, looks left, and all right there. Carrington Valentine's just instantly reading the play and what would have been a pick 6. Those players that were attempting to fake tackle him, they weren't part of the play. That's Jordan Love right there, and just an amazing read and pick by Carrington Valentine, continuing his great offseason so far. And with all that, it's going to be interesting how much, if he can continue making such an impact, because we do have a very crowded and loaded cornerback room, and Rich Bisaccia is kind of favoring safeties because of the special team, to where if we have a little bit more safeties, we'll have a little less cornerback. So Carrington Valentine isn't going to be a sure thing. He's still on the roster bubble technically with such a crowded roster at the cornerback position, but hopefully he continues his great offseason. He was a 7th round pick for us, and according to his coach of what Carrington Valentine was saying, the reason why he dropped so far is because of the lack of interceptions. He had a knack for the ball, but he did not have a very good interception numbers. Like, he only had 1 pick in college, I believe. So the interceptions were non-existent for his 3 or 4 years over there in college. So that dropped him down to the 7th round. But when you watch him, he was always around the ball, and he actually was able to get in good position and diagnose plays. So he has that. And if he can continue this offseason, he could find his way onto this roster, especially depending on how Shamar Jean-Charles does and Idnis Gaines. And lastly, the starters for the offense and the defense. They had, once again, another 2-minute competitive drill in which the defense has once again beaten the offense. The defense has won every one of these 2-minute competitive drills thus far. It's not too shocking. It is a veteran group for the most part. They've been there, and the offense is still trying to get some chemistry and get their bearings under wrap, especially with Jordan Love in his first offseason as QB1. So not too shocking that the defense have won, but something to note, and the offense has once again had to do push-ups. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go.